Hey, Charlie. Super duper long story short, I so my parents had health issues my whole life, most all of my life. And so I very quietly went on this long journey to discover and find out why some people could heal regularly in the Bible and some couldn't. Because it seemed like there were some people who were touched with a gift and some people who it just happened at certain moments in time. And so after a really, well, I think it was like 30 something, like 31. And I had read the New Testament 5 times and the Old Testament once. And I got into a fight with God. Not a fight, but I was arguing with him and I said, "You're hiding this from me. I know you're hiding this from me." Like, I just knew, right? I knew God well enough at that point. I understood his architecture and kind of his ways and the predictability of him. And I kept saying it over and over and over and over again because I could tell I was pushing on his heart. And then he said, "Yes. And if you give me a week, I'll tell you how to give it to other people too." It's like, okay, that's fair. And so a week later, I said, are you going to uncover the part of the Bible that you've been hiding in my mind to keep me from figuring it out? And he said, "Sure." And I felt this like strip of cloth made of like a black cloud, not like an evil cloud, but like hidden in mystery, that was the size of like a strip of silk cloth pull away, silk that was also velvet. And there was a verse in my memory that had been hidden from me, and it was, "Use the gifts you got when the prophets and elders of the church laid hands on you and prayed." And so that was it. I was like, oh, I just need to find somebody who has the gift of healing. And I did. It took, I think, another 12 years. And then I finally found someone, and I flew from Texas to Oregon to meet him. It was very abrupt. I was like, "Hey, I want to be able to heal like you. Put your hands on me and pray that I can do it too, along with the other gifts." Because there's 9 gifts of the Spirit, like prophecy, tongues, knowledge, miraculous wonders. So for about a year now, it's not fully activated yet. There seems to be some sort of practice time I'm involved in. So I've healed war vets, right? I've healed people with spine injuries, nearsightedness, like legal blindness. I haven't been able to heal blindness or brain aneurysms that lead to strokes or paralyzation, but I've done nerve damage, feet damage. I've had bones move, swelling come down. I'm at Amazon, and I've healed so many people that it's becoming regular now. Like, people will come up to me and bring their friends. And it's a real quick prayer. I'll give them a fist bump because people don't like a rush of emotion, right? They don't want you to put your hands on them. I'll be like, "Give me a fist bump and hold it. In the name of Jesus Christ, I pray for your vision or headache or whatever. I rebuke any curses in the name of Jesus Christ. I bless your past, present, future, and rebuke anything demonic that might be in the way." And within either immediately, 5 minutes, or the next day, it's usually moved. Like, some things take a few rounds of prayer. Like, a guy had diabetes that took, I think, 7 or 8. Just kind of every time I saw him, I prayed for him. And at first he had it really bad. He was going to the bathroom every 20 minutes. He said I think he only had a few years to live. It was really bad. I don't remember. And then by round 8, he said he got to go get off his medication. I've had people with ADHD come up that couldn't focus. They could focus. People that had high blood pressure no longer had high blood pressure. People that had insomnia no longer had insomnia. I've healed about 100 people. And with miraculous powers, I've called thunderstorms. I've called rain. Now, it's not like I'm a wizard where I can like snap my fingers and make it happen most of the time. I have done it a few times, but it's all a conversation with God. Like, if you've got God kind of near you, which he always is, I can talk to him, and as long as I'm kind of not being abusive and stupid, I get a lot of free reign to do what I want. So this brings me to you. I remember our conversation, even though it was like a decade and a half ago, and you seem to be a God-fearing man. Obviously, you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I got rid of my computer because I couldn't stop watching porn. And that was a problem because I'm trying to be a teacher, so I get judged hard. So when I trip, it's really, really bad. So, yeah, okay. So, right. So you're a God-fearing man, and I don't know why, but ever since I saw you the first time in high school, like the first time I like really noticed you was when you were running for ASB president, and I just saw this like area of your mind that could hold, that was like worthy of holding this big gem, like the size of a giant pearl. And then knowing you throughout my life, even though it's been at a great distance, you've always had charisma and joy and love. Like when you said that one of your favorite shows is I Love Lucy, only like a great man with great character and a great spirit for creative energy and motion would see the value and beauty in something like I Love Lucy. And then just the few times we talked, like you've always been a great person, and provided you're still a God-fearing man, because I'm not going to give these gifts to someone who preaches that abortion is okay. Like I get all the arguments, but after praying and working with God, He's sent prophets and teachers my way, and every single person has all been in the exact same place, that we receive our soul at conception. I'm not just trying to like end abortion in the United States. I'm talking to heaven with getting a birth control for men and women so we can better choose when to have kids. Because I'm about problem solving, not just beating people into, this is what God wants. So because I know a lot of people don't know everything about the Bible, and you don't know everything about the Bible, so there's going to be mistakes. But I believe that if you have these gifts, you won't, like, they will make you very popular very fast. And I have no problem with the fame that would come of that. You just have to remember that, like, one, you can never charge people for using your gifts. That's a rule in the Bible. You were given the gifts freely, so you will use them freely without charge. Now, if that leads to connections, so be it. Just be mindful. Like, I'm going to go heal Penn and Teller in June. And hopefully that'll lead to some viral movement, which will lead to YouTube ratings, which will lead to money so I can travel around the world healing people. And God sent a prophet to me saying, don't hold people ransom. Because I was going to say, like, hey, we could do this more, if you would maybe help donate or pitch in or something. And the message, and the great thing is that the message Jesus gave the person to give to me wasn't discouragement. It was a brutal gut check, but it was basically, in addition to not holding your gifts ransom, really, really express them, like double down, triple down, like to the power of 3. Instead of asking for money, do more miracles and make it bigger. So what I'm doing now, or what I plan on doing a lot of, is I'm going to have people send me like Snapchat videos, and then I'm going to ask for words of knowledge for them. I'm going to ask for prophecies about them. And one of the gifts should come naturally to you, and the others you'll have to pray, like, please let me grow my gift of knowledge. Gift of knowledge is I can look at someone and, like, I looked at a girl one time and I said, oh, it's not that people don't love you regarding the reason you're sad. It's just that you have a heart 3 times bigger than everyone else. So people will never love you as much as you love them. And then she just started weeping because she's like, I never knew. I'm 24 years old and I just thought nobody loved me. That's a gift of knowledge. Discernment means you'll be able to see the spiritual minutia. You'll know what's affecting people spiritually. Is it something demonic or something personal, like with parents? Is it something mental? Is God saying something? Are there angels about? And then healing will start with you being able to heal almost anything except for the top ceiling stuff. And then once we're activated, which will probably happen once I'm activated since I'm passing the gift forward, you'll be able to heal missing limbs, you'll be able to heal missing eyes, you'll be able to heal recent death. There's a guy in Uganda that's healed people like 2 weeks dead. Anyway, I've always admired your character. I've always admired your heart. And I remembered what you said, that someone had a dream where you were the first famous person they knew. And this kind of just all came together while I was considering, because I got permission to pass the gifts forward. So yeah, it came to my mind when I realized I could pass the gifts forward. I thought I should see what Charlie's up to, and if this would be something that would be in his wheelhouse. And you can pray for other things, that this girl would meet a wonderful husband, that this guy would get off of drugs. If you're trying to get into music, you can pray regularly that you're inspired. I do that in my art. Like, I made this motion graphic trailer for a motion graphic novel I was working on. And I was like, God, just make this better. Help me make this better. And he gave me a new way to look at it. Or I'm writing like a fantasy series. And I'll say, like, God, make my magic system better, and I'll get new ideas. I'll make this better, and I'll get new ideas. So you can work with heaven to rain infinite blessings upon earth. Digest this, think about it, talk to God about it. Let me know what you think. It is a great deal to wake up and find out that you're a living superhero, just like the heroes of the Bible. It's another thing to know that, like, every time you see someone hurt, you can fix a lot of it. Just not the top things. I had a girl with a bunch of bone issues. I think I probably could have healed her if I could have prayed about her regularly. I don't know if she would have let me, but I should have asked. I went up to one girl, she had like wrist braces, like she couldn't move her wrist, she had surgery, and I was working at Amazon, so it's a problem. And I was like, let me see your wrists. And she's like, what? I'm like, I'm a missionary, just give them to me. And I was so tired, it was a horrible way to handle it. And she was just like, what? I was like, no, just give me your wrists. And I grabbed her wrists, and I was like, let me just go, da-da-da-da-da. And she's like, what are you doing? I was like, shh, I'm praying for you. And I was like, okay, move your wrists. And she's like, I can't move them. I'm like, hang on. And I prayed again. She's like, what the heck? What are you doing? And there was this other kid, and he said his foot felt like it was burning his whole life. And so I prayed for it 3 times, and the burning sensation went away right there. And he like hugged me. So one guy, he had really bad knees. He's 6'7", and really bad feet. His feet are at an angle, so he has feet and knee problems. So he's on Vicodin, and I prayed for him, and he was able to quit Vicodin the next day. So you know that's legit. Love you, man. You're the best. Let me know your thoughts. There's no hurry. If you want to do something interesting, before you get back to me, pray that God shows you what your future is like. And pray that prayer several times, like at least 3 to 7. Like you're talking to God. Don't just talk and be like, hey, show me what your future's like, what my future's like. And just keep doing it, because the secret to, one of the core components to doing miracles and seeing the supernatural, it says this in the New Testament, it says, and because of your persistence, you shall knock and the door will be open. You shall seek and you'll find. You shall ask and you receive. So it's persistence, persistence, persistence. This is the secret to everything I've done, including seeing heaven a few times. Yeah.